What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of From the Red Carpet. It's been a long while since I did one of these because of 007 month, but we have a lot of news to cover and there's a lot of trailers, so stick around and we'll dive right in. Nova may be getting his own series. So a while back it was mentioned that Nova would be getting a special presentation on Disney+, similar to what Werewolf by Night got. This would introduce the character and allow us to see a bit of his backstory before adding him into the bigger picture of the MCU. Well, now it's looking like Marvel Studios is moving away from that idea and giving Nova his own Disney Plus series instead. It's still undetermined who will play him, but a series may work out better for Nova than a special presentation could have. The cast of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man has been revealed. The animated series, which is heading to Disney Plus, won't be canon to the MCU or have anything to do with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Instead, it'll just be its own separate thing. It's also been reported that it may feature Oscorp and the Sinister Six as well. We now have an update of the cast for the series. Hudson Thames as Spider-Man, Grace Song as Nico Minoru, Zeno Robinson as Harry Osborn, Eugene Byrne as Lottie Lincoln, Paul F. Tompkins as Wizard, Hugh Dancy as Dr. Octopus, Kari Walgreen as Aunt May, and of course Charlie Cox will be reprising the role of Daredevil. The series will have 10 episodes, which are about half an hour each, and it's scheduled to hit Disney Plus November 2nd. Sony and Marvel Studios are still disagreeing over Spider-Man 4. However, one thing Sony and Marvel do seem to agree on is the debut of Miles Morales in the MCU. Miles is set to debut in Spider-Man 4. It's unclear which plot they'll settle on, though. Either the multiverse plot Sony wants, or the grounded one that Marvel wants. It kinda concerns me, just a little bit, because if Marvel doesn't do the epic multiverse movie that Sony wants them to do, couldn't they just revoke Marvel's use of Spider-Man? And that would be pretty bad. On the flip side, if Sony does get their way, they also want Spider-Man 4 to release next summer, in place of the Fantastic Four. This would push Fantastic Four all the way back to November next year, and nobody wants that. Anyway, Miles already exists in the MCU. His uncle mentioned him in Spider-Man Homecoming. The real questions are, how will he meet Peter, and how will he get his powers? Well, I guess the even bigger question is, who will play him? Also, Sony did mention that Miles will be getting his own solo film following Spider-Man 4, so that's pretty exciting. Let's just hope Sony and Marvel can play nice. Speaking of Sony, since Madam Web did so poorly, it pretty much cancelled any further plans of a Spider-Verse happening on that side. So now, Sony wants Marvel to share the other Spider-Man characters like Venom, Kraven, and so on, just like they're sharing Spider-Man. Sony probably figures that Marvel Studios will use the characters better and actually do things right. And that's the truth. However, what does this mean for the MCU after Secret Wars? Sony wants Marvel to keep the multiverse saga going after Secret Wars as a way to bring in their characters to the MCU. Is Sony planning some kind of takeover? They already want them to fast-track Spider-Man 4 and change the plot to be another big Spider-Verse movie with all three Spider-Men. Now they want the multiverse saga to keep going even after it's over? That sounds pretty pretentious to me. Maybe they should just sell the rights to Spider-Man back to Marvel. But if not, who knows what else they'll demand. Venom 3 is gearing up to be even better than the second film. The film's title has just been released as Venom: The Last Dance, and we'll see Tom Hardy back as Eddie Brock. Of course, this one will see the introduction of Toxin, played by Stephen Graham. Aside from that, Juno Temple is in the cast in an unknown role. She may possibly be playing Scream, the yellow symbiote. At the end of Let There Be Carnage, Venom gets transported to the MCU briefly and learns about Spider-Man. Then, in Spider-Man No Way Home, Venom decides he should seek out Spider-Man before suddenly getting sent back to his own universe, leaving behind some symbiote. At first, I thought that this symbiote would be pruned by the TVA and sent to the Void, where Peter would find it during Secret Wars and become Black Spider-Man. However, apparently now, Tom Hardy's Venom will be jumping back and forth between his universe and the MCU during Venom 3. That could mean that Tom Holland may have a surprise cameo in Venom 3. Everything seemed to be leading up to Andrew Garfield, but I guess things change. However, Tom Holland isn't confirmed, it's just speculation at the moment. Venom: The Last Dance is set to release on October 25th. With Sony giving up on the Spider-Verse, one thing they're not giving up on is Spider-Man 4 with Tobey. The film is still in the works and will bring back Sam Raimi to direct. In regard to the plot, many would think that they would just do the plot of the old Spider-Man 4 that never happened, with the Vulture. But no, they'll write a new story with a different villain, and I can't wait to see what they come up with. We have an update for Henry Cavill in the MCU. It looks like he may be appearing in Deadpool 3. On the previous episode, I mentioned that Henry Cavill was in talks with Marvel Studios, and the question was, who he'll be playing. It looked like at first he'd either be Captain Britain, Cyclops, or maybe even Doctor Doom. But now, we have a different answer to that question. The new report is that Cavill will be playing a Wolverine variant in Deadpool 3, one wearing a trench coat. This is bittersweet news. Yeah, Cavill would make a good Wolverine, but it's only a one-off role for this one movie. So that sucks. Also, Daniel Radcliffe is apparently going to be a Wolverine variant as well. Either way, the cast for this one's stacked and it will be awesome. Deadpool 3 is due out July 26th. There's a huge update for Batman the Caped Crusader. The series is said to draw heavy inspiration from both the 90s animated cartoon and The Brave and the Bold. However, this one will show way more violence and have a noir-like tone. It's pretty much being described as everything the early 90s Batman cartoon was supposed to be. Also, we have some art of what the characters will look like. And with that being said, let's go over the cast. Zachary Quinto as Batman, Jeffrey Wright as Captain James Gordon, who I guess isn't the Commissioner just yet, Jillian Jacobs as Julie Madison, Stephanie Beatrice as Renee Montoya, Alexander Siddig as Alfred, Sterling K. Brown as Lucius Fox, Andy Daly as Two-Face, William Dafoe as Scarface, Alan Tudyk as the Ventriloquist, Tara Strong as both Catwoman and Martha Wayne, Matthew Lillard as Scarecrow, Troy Baker as Red Hood, Brent Spinner as the Riddler, Clancy Brown as Sal Maroni, Ed Helms as Thomas Wayne, Fred Tatasciore as Rupert Thorne, and Jim Carrey as the Clue Master. There will also be some villains like Clayface, Harley Quinn, Onomatopoeia, and the Gentleman Ghost appearing. That cast is just insane. But it doesn't end there. The series will have 11 episodes, and here's what to expect. Episode 1 will be called The Caped Crusader and show Bruce Wayne after the death of his parents and how he becomes Batman. Episode 2 will be called My Dummy Aren't My Dummy, and will have Batman in his year 1 facing off against both the Ventriloquist and Scarface. Episode 3 is called Kiss of the Catwoman, where Batman meets Catwoman after she steals rubies from a museum. Episode 4 is called Scary, Scary, Scary Fear, where Batman fights the Scarecrow. Episode 5 is called Making Allies with Police is Hard, where Batman must team up with the GCPD against the Red Hood gang. Episode 6 is Who is the Riddler, where Batman faces off against, of course, the Riddler. Episode 7 is called It's Quiz Time, where Batman must save people kidnapped by the Clue Master to use on his game show. Episode 8 is called Let's Go to Ace Chemicals, You Say, where Batman has to stop a robbery at Ace Chemicals. This is probably where the Joker will get created. Episode 9 is You Must Be Mad at Court, where crime boss Sal Maroni gets put on trial and will more than likely throw acid in Harvey Dent's face. Episode 10 is Two-Face Part 1, where Harvey Dent becomes Two-Face and tries to rally Gotham's criminals. Then finally, Episode 11, Two-Face Part 2, where Two-Face tries to kill the criminals inhabiting Arkham Asylum. This one's going to be pretty epic and will debut this fall on Prime Video. Superman Legacy has changed its name. So we already got a look at the giant cast for the film and the new logo, which is taking inspiration from the Kingdom Come run in the comics. Here we can see a new photo of the logo surrounded by what looks like pillow fluff, but I'm not too sure what it is. Anyway, recently, the name of the film was shortened from Superman Legacy to just Superman. As far as why, when James Gunn was asked, he just said that by the time he finished writing the final script of the movie, he knew the film was going to be called Superman. Wow, well, that answers that. Anyway, this one's due out July 11th, 2025. The Penguin series is headed to Max. This will bring back Colin Farrell as the Penguin, and show his rise to power in Gotham following the events of The Batman. Let's take a look.
When I was a kid, there was a gangster, real old school type, Rex Calabrese. He was a big deal. He helped people. You saw you on the street, he'd call out to you. When I'm 14 or something, he has a heart attack and dies. Still holding a cigar. In my neighborhood, They throw a parade in his honor. A friggin' parade. I mean, it wasn't fancy, but it was a gesture. To show love for what he meant. Can you imagine to be remembered like that?
There's a new plot and some photos from Tron Ares. Jared Leto will star in the sequel to Tron Legacy as Ares, a sophisticated program within the grid. Here we can see Leto in the Ares suit, which to me looks a lot like Clue's guards from Legacy. In the film, Ares will break free from the grid and go into the real world on a dangerous mission. And that's pretty much what Clue wanted to do in the previous one, but for different reasons. The film is also set to star Jodie Turner-Smith, Greta Lee, Cameron Monaghan, and Evan Peters. There's no official release date just yet, but it'll come out sometime next year. A new Final Destination's in the works. This will be the 6th film in the franchise and will be called Final Destination Bloodlines. The plot, as we know so far, is that in the 1960s, a group of people escape death. Then death starts to go after each of the survivors' families. So it looks like it just goes down the line of each person's bloodline, killing them all off. That sounds pretty interesting. I didn't expect this to be a prequel. But anyway, the only confirmed cast member so far is Tony Todd, who's probably reprising the role of William Bloodworth, the mortician from the first movie informing the kids about Death's plan. There's no release date just yet, but it just started filming last month. We have a trailer for Alien Romulus. This one looks to be a continuation of the series and will debut on Hulu pretty soon. The plot will center around a group of people on a space station who have to outrun some xenomorphs. Let's check out the trailer.
Get it away from me.
Run.
We have some new set photos from the Crow reboot. Bill Skarsgård will star as Eric Draven in the film, which is directed by Rupert Sanders. Ever since these photos dropped, fans have been giving the reboot a lot of hate, saying that Eric Draven never looked like this, and they should have went with a different version of the Crow from the comics. Skarsgård's appearance is more like that of Die Antwoord, a hip-hop group from South Africa, the same group that Jared Leto's Joker was based off of, and that in itself was pretty frowned upon. Anyway, here we can see Draven and his girlfriend prior to getting murdered. And then, here he is after he becomes the Crow. A noticeable difference from the Brandon Lee version, but I'm still excited to see it. The film hits theaters June 7th. Let's check it out.
What's the first thing you liked about me?
I thought that you were quite brilliantly broken.
You feel like my person.
You feel like my person.
What's the worst thing you've ever done?
I saw things. I shouldn't have seen any of it.
Julie! Julie! Please don't do this!
When someone dies,
A crow carries their soul to the land of the dead.
And sometimes something so bad happens that the soul cannot rest. Until you put the wrong things right. You were given the power of a god. But you're running out of time to save her. I'm gonna kill them. Every single one of them. And killed you?
Yeah, you did.
We have a problem. He came for us.
First impulse. Anger.
It's not anger. It's love.
Look at what you've become. You know that love promises only pain. You have no idea what hell awaits you. No, I do.
How many people have you loved?
I'll never be alone.
Thanksgiving 2 is on the way. It looks like the first film was a pretty huge hit. Director Eli Roth is at it again, and a sequel is in production. But it's unclear what the plot will be or who's in the cast. Hopefully, we'll find out soon. There are some new set photos of Terrifier 3. So the third Terrifier film will come out October 25th and will have a Christmas theme to it. Both Lauren Lavera and Samantha Scafidi will return, and Chris Jericho is set to be in the movie as well. Here we can see Art in a Santa costume, probably causing some kind of mayhem. Then here he is with a family. They have no idea what they're in for. Anyway, hopefully soon we can get a longer trailer. Finally, after all this time, we have a Beetlejuice 2 trailer. So, the film will be called Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, and will have Michael Keaton back as, well, Beetlejuice. Also, Winona Ryder will be back as Lydia, and Jenna Ortega will play her daughter, Astrid. Let's check this one out.
Daylight come and we want to go. Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and we want to go. Me say day, me say day, me say day, me say day, me say day. Daylight come and we want to go.
The juice is loose.
There's an update on the upcoming Halloween series. It's been revealed from a source at Miramax, Mark Helwig, that the Halloween series will be a spin-off of the 1978 original film. It's too early to talk casting or plot, but it looks like they're going back to basics. Hopefully soon we'll know more. Lastly, The Strangers Chapter 1 has a trailer. The prequel to the Strangers film is on the way. The film will star Madeline Petch and Richard Brake, among many others. And this one looks to be the Strangers' first kidnapping. The plot reads like this. A young couple drives cross-country towards a new beginning. Unfortunately, they have no choice but to stop at a secluded Airbnb in Oregon, and endure a night of terror against 3 masked strangers. This one looks pretty good, and it hits theaters on May 17th. Let's take a look.
Do you know what today is?
Today is the third day of our 3-day road trip across the country.
Or our 5-year anniversary. What a cool little town. I actually like this so much better than a hotel. I'll bet the people who live here are really happy.
Tough crowd, right?
Hi.
Hi.
Do you hear that?
Hear what?
The silence. It's nice. Is Tamara here?
No?
I think you have the wrong home. That was weird.
You are the messiest eater on the planet.
Lock the front door!
Because you're here.
Well, guys, that does it for this episode of From the Red Carpet. I know it was lengthy, but I was building up all this stuff over the last month. Anyway, if you like the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more. And with that, I'll see you on the next one.